Good Will Hunting is a movie that displays and characterizes the life of an exceptionally gifted young adult, Will Hunting. He not only has an astounding memory and intelligence level, but he also suffers from many psychological disorders that stem from his abusive foster family and past. With the help of a psychotherapist and college professor, he attempts to overcome these problems in his life and figure out how to deal with the trauma he was faced with as a child. These disorders that he faces include post-traumatic stress disorder, an inferiority complex, attachment disorder, and also he uses many defense mechanisms to hide his dark and abusive past. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a psychological disorder characterized by the occurrence of a traumatic event or incident that can scar a person or stick with them forever. This event causes the patient to see hallucinations or flashbacks of the event, as well as symptoms such as aggressive and self-destructive behavior, avoidance, defensiveness, and many other symptoms that are in result to a situation that scarred the patient emotionally. In the case of Will Hunting, his foster family's years of abuse and lack of sympathy is what caused him to develop post-traumatic stress disorder. And he displays accurate signs of this disorder throughout the movie, such as in this next clip, where Will shows his aggressive, uncontrollable, impulsive, and self-destructive behavior when he gets into a fight with his friends.
Whoa! Caught!
Will also shows an inferiority complex throughout the film. An inferiority complex is a psychological idea that explains how feelings of inadequacy can get so severe and strong to the point of where it impacts daily living of the person who has those feelings. In the movie, Will's inferiority complex is the reason why he hangs out with his friends who aren't as smart as him and who aren't on the same intellectual level. This is also why he chooses jobs as a janitor and a construction worker instead of going back to school. This next scene in the movie accurately depicts an example of an inferiority complex because it shows all the symptoms Will is feeling and the reasons why his life is so impacted with these feelings of being inferior and less.
I'm sitting in your office and the boy isn't here. Well, it's 5:10. An hour and 10 minutes late. Well, if he doesn't show up and I file a report saying he wasn't here and he goes back to jail, it won't be on my conscience.
As shown in the clip, Will's low self-esteem and lack of enthusiasm to do things that require higher intellectual thinking is the reason why he spends his time as a construction worker instead of spending time solving math problems with the professor. Defense mechanisms are terms developed by Sigmund Freud to explain how people can cope with and block traumatic events and memories from their minds. The defense mechanisms displayed in Good Will Hunting are repression, reaction formation, and projection. The most commonly represented mechanism in the film is Will's reaction formation, or his defense mechanism that allows him to say things and react in ways that are completely opposite to what he's really feeling, like in this next clip when he tells the woman he loves that he actually doesn't like her.
I love you. I want to hear you say that you don't love me. Because if you say that, then I won't call you. And I won't be in your life.
I don't love you.
Attachment disorder is a psychological disorder that stems from Will Hunting's history of abuse and his home life. He is unable to show affection and form strong and lasting relationships with other people because he is afraid of getting attached to them and being left behind. This is another reason why he's unable to show and express his feelings for the woman he loves and be in a committed relationship with her. He is unable to show these feelings because he is afraid of getting too attached. All of these problems and disorders that Will is dealing with all come together in one of the most moving final scenes of the film, shown in this next clip. Will's therapist finally gets through to him, and Will breaks down in an emotional scene where he comes to terms with his problems and realizes that he isn't okay.
So, what is it like? Will has an attachment disorder? Is it all that stuff? Fear of abandonment? Is that why I broke up with Skylar?
I didn't know you had.
I did.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Hey, Will. I don't know a lot. You see this? All this shit.
This last scene helps add to the accuracy of the portrayal of psychological concepts and disorders in the movie. It expresses how hard Will's life has become, having to juggle all these inner problems and conflicts without being able to tell anyone how he feels. The entire movie accurately displays these disorders and problems by using Will's actions to show the audience how he feels, and the only way he knows how to cope with these feelings. The emotional turmoil that it's obviously expressed is what makes these disorders and realistic scenarios come to life.